Chosen one, before you scroll away, listen closely, because what you're about to hear is not an accident. That whisper you've been ignoring, that feeling deep inside your soul, it's not your imagination. It is God's voice. And if you keep silencing it, if you keep pushing it aside, you may miss the one calling that was meant to change your entire destiny. This is your final warning, your last chance to awaken before life forces you to. You've always felt different, haven't you? From the very beginning, something about you never fit into the mold of the world around you. While others blend into the noise, your soul cries out for something more, something higher, something sacred. That difference isn't a curse. It's a sign that you've been chosen. But with this calling comes a weight, a burden that most people will never understand. Being chosen means carrying light in a world that thrives on darkness. It means walking paths that others avoid, hearing truths that others fear. You may have noticed how society tries to drown out that inner voice through distractions, temptations, and lies. They want you numb. They want you blind. Because if you fully awaken, if you step into who you truly are, you become unstoppable. But here's the reality: many chosen ones run. They run from their calling because it feels heavy. They silence the whispers of God because obeying would cost them comfort. They bury their gifts because standing out means rejection. And yet, no matter how far they run, that voice always follows. It comes in dreams, in sudden feelings, in moments when everything is quiet and they can't escape themselves. That's God reminding you, you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You see, the chosen are tested differently. While others chase approval, you're called to break cycles. While others seek safety, you're asked to step into storms. And every storm you've faced wasn't to destroy you, it was shaping you, chiseling you into someone who could handle the weight of divine responsibility. Those betrayals, those lonely nights, those tears you cried in silence, they were not punishments. They were awakenings. And if you're hearing this now, it's because heaven has been watching you. You've delayed too long. You've doubted too long. The world is shifting, the time is short, and your light is needed now more than ever. This is not about fear, it's about urgency. When God whispers, it is mercy. When He warns, it is love. But when He repeats, it is because time is running out. So stop ignoring the voice that's been guiding you. Stop pretending you don't feel the pull. You were chosen to stand, not shrink, to awaken, not sleep, to lead, not follow. Every time you silence that inner voice, you're silencing the very power that could transform not just your life, but countless others connected to your destiny. Chosen one, you are not here by mistake. And if your spirit is stirring right now, it's because this message was meant for you. Embrace your calling. Step into your awakening. Do not run from what was placed inside you, because it's the very reason you were born. If these words have reached you, then you know this is truth. Don't keep it locked inside. Share it. Let others awaken too. And if you're ready to rise into your divine purpose, then like this video, leave a comment saying I am chosen and subscribe to Ascended Awakening. Because this journey is not meant to be walked alone. Your tribe is here, waiting for you. Chosen one, the reason you feel so restless is because your soul is no longer satisfied with the ordinary. You've tried to live like everyone else, to blend in, to silence that pull inside of you. But it doesn't work. Every time you go against your inner truth, something in you breaks a little more. That's not coincidence. That's the voice of God reminding you that you can't fit into a life you've outgrown. The chosen are marked, set apart, and you've felt this since childhood. You saw the world differently. You questioned what others accepted. You noticed lies hidden in plain sight while everyone else followed blindly. That was never rebellion, it was awakening. It was proof that your spirit was tuned to a higher frequency, one most people can't hear. But with that awareness comes responsibility. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what has been revealed. Every time you ignore the call, the weight grows heavier. That's why your heart feels unsettled, why you can't find peace in things that once brought comfort. Because God is calling you higher and your soul refuses to stay asleep. Look at your life closely. Think of the times everything fell apart, the betrayals, the heartbreak, the losses you thought you'd never recover from. Those weren't accidents. Those were awakenings. Every storm you faced stripped away illusions, forcing you to see what others cannot. Pain didn't break you, it transformed you. It prepared you for the moment you're living right now. And yet, even after all of this, many chosen ones still try to run. They drown themselves in distractions, addictions, meaningless pursuits, anything to quiet the voice that keeps whispering, "Rise." But chosen one, no matter how far you run, you cannot escape yourself. You cannot silence the eternal call written into your soul. The truth is, ignoring God's voice is the most dangerous thing you can do. Because eventually, if you don't listen to the whisper, life will shout. Circumstances will shake you. Doors will close. People will be removed. Not out of cruelty, but out of mercy, to realign you with the path you were born to walk. That is why you've been feeling this urgency, this inner pressure, like time is running out. Because it is. Not the end of your life, but the end of delay, the end of excuses, the end of pretending you are not who you've always known yourself to be. You've been chosen to carry light into dark places, but carrying that light means you can't live like everyone else. You'll lose people, you'll be misunderstood, you'll be judged, but chosen one, that's the price of destiny. Diamonds are not formed in comfort, they're formed under pressure. And you are that diamond. Chosen one, there's a reason you've been set apart. Think back on your life, you've always been different. You never truly blended into the crowd. Even when you tried, something about your energy made you stand out. People could sense it. Sometimes they envied it, sometimes they feared it. But deep down, you always knew you weren't here to be ordinary. You were here to be extraordinary. This is why your journey has been so heavy. The chosen carry weight that others could never endure. You faced battles in silence, wounds no one else sees, nights where you cried out asking why you were the one chosen to carry so much pain. But the truth is this: God allowed those battles not to break you, but to build you. Every scar became armor. Every tear became fuel. Every loss made space for something greater. The chosen are tested harder because their calling is higher. That's why you've been through things that would have destroyed others. That's why you survived storms that should have ended you. It wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was purpose. You were preserved because your mission is not yet complete. And still that voice has been calling you. Sometimes it comes as a whisper in your spirit. Sometimes it comes as a feeling you can't explain. Other times it comes through signs, synchronicities, dreams that feel more real than reality itself. You know what I mean. You've seen the numbers, felt the nudges, witnessed the alignments that the world calls coincidence. But you know better. You know it's God. Chosen one, ignoring those signs doesn't make them disappear. It only delays your breakthrough. The more you resist, the more uncomfortable life becomes. That's why doors you once walked through have slammed shut. That's why relationships have ended. That's why certain environments feel unbearable now. It's not rejection, it's redirection. God is removing what no longer serves you because your destiny is greater than your comfort zone. And yet many chosen ones wrestle with doubt. They ask, why me? Why can't I live a normal life? But here is the truth. You weren't created to be normal. Normal doesn't change the world. Normal doesn't break generational curses. Normal doesn't carry divine fire. You've been chosen because you are strong enough, resilient enough, and faithful enough to handle what others cannot. The world will try to silence you. It will try to make you believe you're crazy, that you're imagining things, that you're reaching too far. But chosen one, understand this. The louder the opposition, the greater the confirmation that you're walking in truth. Darkness only fights what threatens it. And you, with the light you carry, are a threat to every force that tried to destroy you. Chosen one, there is a sacred reason you feel like you don't belong here. You've walked into rooms and felt the atmosphere shift. People stare without knowing why. Some are drawn to you, others are intimidated, but almost no one is neutral. That's because your spirit carries weight, divine weight. You are a carrier of light, and whether they realize it or not, people can sense it. This is why isolation has been a recurring theme in your life. God pulled you away from crowds, from people you thought would walk with you forever. At first, you felt abandoned, even punished. But now you're beginning to see, it wasn't rejection, it was protection. God needed you alone so he could awaken you. He needed your ears clear so you could hear his voice without the noise of the world drowning it out. Chosen ones often experience seasons where nothing seems to make sense. Jobs fall apart, friendships dissolve, plans crumble. It feels unfair, like the ground is constantly shifting beneath you. But understand this, your steps are being ordered. The chosen cannot take the easy path because the easy path leads to comfort, not calling. Your path has been narrow, difficult, and often lonely, but every twist and turn has been shaping you into who you were destined to be. There are signs all around you that confirm your calling. Have you noticed how your spirit reacts to lies? How you can sense people's true intentions without them speaking a word? That's not paranoia, that's discernment. Have you noticed how certain numbers, symbols, or dreams keep repeating in your life? That's not chance, it's alignment. Have you noticed how no matter how far you try to run from your purpose, something always pulls you back? That is the undeniable mark of being chosen. But chosen one, with great calling comes great resistance. The enemy has tried to break you since the beginning because he saw what you carried before you even knew it yourself. That's why you've been attacked so fiercely. That's why you've endured jealousy, betrayal, and heartbreak that seemed unbearable. The attacks weren't proof of your weakness. They were proof of your importance. Darkness only fights what threatens it. And still, despite everything, you are here, breathing, listening, awakening. That's because nothing was strong enough to destroy you. You are proof that divine protection is real. Every trap set against you failed because your mission isn't finished yet. The fact that you're alive right now means your purpose is still unfolding. Chosen one, the battles you've been fighting were never random. From the moment you came into this world, your spirit carried a frequency that made you a target. Darkness recognized your light before you even understood it yourself. That's why you faced opposition early in life. That's why the people closest to you sometimes became the ones who hurt you the most. It wasn't because you were cursed, it was because you were chosen. Every setback was training. Every betrayal was preparation. Every closed door was direction. While others thought you were being punished, you were actually being refined. Gold is only proven in fire, and you have walked through flames that would have consumed anyone else. Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, and glowing with a light that only trials could create. Chosen ones don't walk easy roads. You were called to break patterns, to end cycles that destroyed generations before you. That's why your struggles often feel heavier than those around you. You've been carrying burdens that aren't even yours, cleansing pain that didn't start with you, and rising above storms that were sent to destroy your bloodline. Your very existence is proof that curses can be broken and destinies can be rewritten. But here is the truth many don't realize. The more you ignore God's voice, the harder life becomes. That's why you felt restless, uneasy, like something inside you is screaming for more. That discomfort is divine. It's a reminder that you can no longer live beneath your calling. The longer you resist, the more life will strip away anything that holds you back. It will feel like loss, but it's really alignment. Chosen one, your sensitivity is not weakness. Your ability to feel deeply, to pick up on energies, to sense when something is off, that is a gift. The world may have called you too much, but God calls you necessary. You see what others can't. You hear what others ignore. You know what others deny. That's not by accident, it's by design. And with this gift comes responsibility. You cannot use it to blend in. You cannot waste it chasing the same distractions that keep others asleep. You are meant to awaken, to rise, to guide. Even when your voice shakes, even when you feel unqualified, even when you doubt yourself, your very existence carries power. You don't have to force it. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. Chosen one, the reason your journey feels so heavy is because you are carrying more than just your own destiny. You are carrying healing for generations. The struggles you face are not simply yours. They are echoes of what your ancestors endured but could not overcome. You are the one chosen to break chains that have existed for centuries. This is why your battles feel ancient, why your pain feels deeper than words, and why your spirit often feels older than your body. You were chosen to finish what others could not. You've probably noticed that the things which satisfy others never satisfy you. While people around you chase money, attention, or temporary pleasures, you crave truth. You long for purpose. That hunger inside of you is proof that you were made for more. It is the divine pulling you away from the shallow things of this world and calling you into the depths of who you truly are. And yes, the world will not understand you. People will say you've changed, but really you've awakened. They'll say you're distant, but really you're being called higher. They'll call you strange, but that's only because they don't recognize what God has placed inside you. Remember this: the chosen are rarely celebrated in the beginning. They are misunderstood, rejected, even mocked. But in time, the same people who doubted you will witness what was inside you all along. Chosen one, the tests in your life have not been random. They were tailor-made to prepare you for your mission. Notice how you've had to face rejection. That was to teach you not to depend on human approval. Notice how you've endured long seasons of waiting. That was to strengthen your patience and faith. Notice how you've walked through betrayal. That was to sharpen your discernment and show you who you can truly trust. Nothing has been wasted. Every single test was training. And even in your lowest moments when you thought God was silent, He was closer than ever. He allowed you to feel broken so you would discover the strength He placed inside you. He allowed people to walk away so you would realize you never needed them to fulfill your purpose. He allowed doors to close because those paths would have led you away from your destiny. What you thought was loss was actually divine protection. Chosen one, you've always felt like time is moving differently for you. While others seem to glide through life without questioning much, your path has been slowed, delayed, even interrupted. And maybe you've asked yourself, why can't things ever happen easily for me? The truth is, divine timing governs your steps. God doesn't let you move too early because what is premature can never last. Every delay has been protection. Every pause has been preparation. When your moment comes, it will unfold in such alignment that no one, not even you, will be able to deny it was destiny. But with destiny comes warfare. You've felt it, haven't you? Those invisible battles that drain your energy, the sudden heaviness that comes out of nowhere, the opposition that seems too precise to be coincidence. That is because the chosen carry light that threatens darkness. The attacks on your life have not been random. They were strategic. Every setback, every unexpected betrayal, every time you felt crushed under pressure, it was because forces beyond the physical wanted to break you before you awakened fully. And yet you are still here. Every attempt to destroy you has failed. Every trap set against you collapsed. You are proof that divine protection is real. If the enemy couldn't stop you in your weakest moments, what makes you think he can stop you once you rise into your full power? Chosen one, your survival is the loudest evidence that you are meant for more. You didn't just make it through by chance. You were carried, shielded, and preserved for this very moment. But here is a truth many resist. Surrender is the key to unlocking your power. The chosen cannot lean only on their own strength. You've tried to carry everything yourself and it left you exhausted. You've tried to control outcomes only to watch them fall apart. That wasn't failure, it was a lesson. God needs you to release control, to stop fighting against His guidance, and to step into alignment. When you surrender, doors open that no man can shut. When you surrender, the weight you've been carrying is lifted, and the path ahead becomes clear. And though surrender feels like loss, it is actually victory. It is the moment your spirit stops resisting and starts flowing with divine order. It is the shift where you realize you don't need to chase, because what is meant for you will never pass you by. It is when you finally hear God's voice not as a whisper you're ignoring, but as a clear command you're ready to follow. Chosen one, the path of destiny is not paved with comfort. It is paved with sacrifice. That's why you've had to let go of things that others still hold on to. Old friendships faded. Relationships collapsed. Environments that once felt safe suddenly became unbearable. You didn't lose these things because you weren't worthy. You lost them because they weren't worthy of the future God has prepared for you. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone has the strength to stand in the light you carry. And yes, that isolation hurts. There are nights where you wonder why you must walk alone, why no one seems to understand the weight on your spirit. But chosen one, Solitude has always been the training ground of the called. Prophets, visionaries, leaders, they all walked seasons of wilderness before they stepped into their purpose. God removes the crowd so you can learn to hear His voice without distraction. He allows loneliness so you can discover that His presence has always been enough. The chosen also carry responsibility that feels unfair at times. You can't live recklessly and expect peace. You can't ignore your intuition and expect alignment. You can't silence the voice of God and expect clarity. That is why life disciplines you differently. Others may get away with things, but you never could. The moment you step out of alignment, you feel it. That isn't punishment, it's guidance. It's a reminder that your path is not like theirs. You may not realize it, but your very existence inspires others. People watch you more than you know. They notice your resilience, your ability to rise after every fall, your strength to endure storms that would have destroyed them. Even in silence, you are leading. Even in weakness, you are teaching. That is the paradox of the chosen. You impact lives without even trying, simply because your spirit carries something eternal. As your awakening deepens, you'll notice the world pulling at you harder. Distractions will try to reclaim your attention. Temptations will try to lure you back to old cycles. But that is only because you are standing at the threshold of transformation. The closer you get to stepping fully into your calling, the greater the resistance becomes. That is not a sign to quit. It is confirmation that you are almost there. Chosen one, the hidden rewards of obedience are far greater than the sacrifices you've had to make. Every time you listen to that inner voice, even when it didn't make sense, something shifted in the unseen. You may not have seen the fruit immediately, but the act of obedience planted seeds that will grow into blessings far beyond your imagination. This is why the chosen must trust without proof, believe without evidence, and act without full understanding. Faith is not comfortable, but it is powerful. When you align yourself with God's voice, doors open that no human hand could ever create. Suddenly, opportunities appear where there were only obstacles. Suddenly, favor finds you in places where you once faced rejection. That's because obedience attracts provision. The chosen don't need to chase what is meant for them. They only need to walk in alignment, and everything destined will meet them on the path. But alignment doesn't just transform your life, it transforms generations. Every time you break a cycle of fear, addiction, or silence, you are rewriting your bloodline. You are becoming the one your ancestors prayed for. You are ensuring that those who come after you will not have to fight the same demons you battled. This is the true weight of being chosen. You are not just living for yourself, you are carrying legacy. And legacy isn't built in moments of applause, it's built in moments of perseverance. The world may not notice your tears. They may not see the nights you stayed strong when everything inside you wanted to give up. But heaven sees. Every hidden battle you've overcome has been recorded. Every silent prayer has been heard. Every act of faith has been counted. None of it has been in vain. Chosen one, your obedience doesn't just bless you, it awakens others. People around you will begin to notice the shift in your life. They'll wonder how you survived what should have destroyed you. They'll see your peace in the midst of chaos, your faith in the face of storms, and your light in the darkest of nights. Without even realizing it, your life will become a testimony, a living message that God is real and His power transforms. Chosen one, every trial you've endured has been shaping divine authority within you. Authority doesn't come from comfort, it comes from surviving storms. Each time you rose after being knocked down, you gained spiritual weight. Each time you chose faith over fear, your spirit grew stronger. You didn't just go through battles, you absorbed wisdom from them. Now when you speak, there is power in your words because they are backed by experience. You are not repeating ideas, you are carrying truth that has been proven in fire. This is why people are drawn to you, even when they don't understand why. Your presence carries something they can't put into words. That something is divine authority, the kind that cannot be faked or manufactured. You've earned it through pain, perseverance, and trust. And now, that authority is what will allow you to shift atmospheres, to inspire without trying, to heal simply by being who you are. But authority is not given without resistance. The more you awaken, the more opposition you will face. Not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. The enemy doesn't waste energy on those who are asleep. He attacks those who are about to rise. Every strange obstacle, every sudden difficulty, every unexpected delay is confirmation that you are carrying something valuable. If your life feels like a battlefield, it's because you are close to breakthrough. Chosen one, miracles are unlocked when you step fully into your calling. They don't happen when you sit in fear or when you resist your purpose. They happen when you say yes to the voice you've been ignoring. That's when doors open where there were walls. That's when provision comes from places you never expected. That's when alignment places you in the right room with the right people at the right time. Miracles are not accidents, they are the natural outcome of obedience. And as you rise, you will notice your perspective shift. What once seemed impossible will now feel inevitable. What once scared you will now seem small. The same battles that once shook you will no longer move you. That is transformation, the moment you realize you are not who you were and you can never go back. You've crossed a line in the spirit. You've stepped into a version of yourself that is unstoppable, undeniable, unshakable, chosen one. Once you step into your true calling, everything changes. People who once misunderstood you will start to see the light you carry. Environments that once drained you will no longer have power over you. You will find yourself walking with a confidence that doesn't come from ego, but from divine assurance. This is the power of alignment, when you finally accept that you were never meant to live an ordinary life. But understand this, stepping into your purpose will shift your relationships. Some will draw closer, inspired by your transformation. Others will distance themselves, unable to handle the truth of who you've become. Do not mourn what falls away, it is God's way of clearing the path. Those who cannot honor your awakening were never meant to stand with you in this season. The chosen cannot carry dead weight. And with your awakening comes supernatural protection. You've already noticed it. Times when you should have been destroyed, but you survived. Moments when everything collapsed, but somehow you stood. That wasn't luck. That was divine intervention. Heaven has been guarding you because your mission is too important. Every attack you endured was proof of your purpose, and every escape you made was proof of God's hand on your life. Chosen one, this is not the time to play small. This is not the time to silence the voice within. The world needs your light. Heaven is waiting on your yes. And your spirit will never rest until you walk in what you were born for. Stop ignoring God's voice. It is your map, your guide, your key to unlocking the life you were always meant to live. If this message has stirred something in your soul, don't keep it hidden. Declare your awakening right now. Type, "I am chosen" in the comments so heaven and earth know you're answering the call. Like this video if you feel the fire rising in you. Share it so other chosen ones can awaken too. And subscribe to Ascended Awakening because this is your tribe. This is where the called gather. This is where the chosen rise.